Well, I think I've done enough work for the day. It's never really over, but I do allow myself a walk a day. And sometimes the thing about having your own business company is you can give yourself the day off. You don't have to ask your boss, do you? So that's quite nice. That's worth having it for that alone. So I don't really have a weekend as such. I just have a day off when I like. And I always have parts in my diary where I say, right, that's going to be a day off. But I never really have a day off, really. There's always things going on in my mind. And what I was going to talk about was confidence. A lot of people don't have the confidence to go for their dream, or they may have an idea what their destiny is, but it is quite hard. And nobody could be more self-conscious than me, I don't think. You know, I've spoke about this before. My confidence was really on the floor, from all the things that have happened to me when I was at school. But I did a talk yesterday on an essay I've been written over the years called "Music Saved My Life." There's quite a few versions of it around, and there's several versions that are going to go in the book. I've not decided which one yet because that's still being sorted out after the last 2 years. As I said to you before, I finished it in 2019, and this situation happened, and it was relevant, so I've had to. And then I couldn't find an editor during the 2 years of nonsense, so it's all worked out for the best, really, because there's stuff that needs to be added. So it wasn't finished for a reason. But yeah, confidence was a really big problem for me. I mean, really, real problem. And I used to say that if Harry Potter's invisibility cape was real, I would have worn it all the time because I just didn't want to be seen. I wanted to be as invisible as possible because I felt really embarrassed to be me. I felt really, I don't know how I got through it, to be honest, but I do, because music saved my life. And the first thing I had to do, because I really got into music, all music really, I like all music. I don't have a particular favourite, I like it all. Oh, except rap. Rap's a bit of a push for me. I'm sorry for people who like it. I'm not keen. I don't mind some of the origins, but people that are basically talking over, which know more than a computerized sound system. I know that sounds a bit negative, but that's what it sounds like to me. It's not really a composition as such. Maybe kind of street poetry over. I don't know. You know what I mean. It's not exactly orchestral, is it? And I like things that are a little bit more complicated, generally speaking. But I like pop music too. Not being negative about things. We all have our likes and dislikes, don't we? But yeah, so because I liked all these bands, if I went to go and see them, I had to travel because I lived in a small village in the middle of nowhere. So I had such a passion to go and see these bands, such a need to go. I had to travel into London, or Cambridge wasn't far away, but I didn't particularly like driving through cities and stuff. I was really self-conscious. You've no idea. I really was. And but because I so badly wanted to go and see these bands, I had to go. The drive to see these bands was stronger, and that was kind of the first journey into building up my confidence. And the last one was, as I mentioned before, my job at the Ministry of Defence. That really boosted up my confidence. And then I started doing network events. I used to speak at those, and suddenly, all of a sudden, I mean, not that many years ago, I was making my first videos in probably about 2017. Not that long ago. There's quite a lot of them. I've taken them. They're all still on YouTube and stuff. I've just put them so you can't see them because I think this is a new chapter. I think they're a bit not really related to this. I was doing more simplistic things then. So I've kind of upped my game a little bit now. But being in the MOD, that was a real confidence boost. It really was. I remember somebody said to me when I got my job in the MOD, managing this department, They said, look, you need to toughen up because the army are going to walk all over you. You have to stand up to them. You're in charge, and you have to let them know that you're in charge. Because once you stand up to them, they'll respect you because they like that. So I remember, because they always said corporals are the most cocky of all, because they've been a private for a year or two, and then they get a promotion to a lance corporal or a corporal, and all of a sudden they think they're God, because they can basically tell their privates what to do. They think they can tell everybody what to do. And he said, you need to reel those in because they will walk all over you. So I got quite good at that. They never did like it. They got quite gobby, but I mean, as a civilian, my rank was over theirs anyway, but they don't recognise that. They think if you're a civilian, you're a civilian. They forget that civilians can go up to the rank of major. I mean, technically, my job, it was kind of in the middle, really. It was between a WO2 and a captain, I think. I think that's what my civilian rank would have been. It's equivalent to. So somebody told me once. I've never checked it out. But they said, you need to remember that. That's who you are, and they need to respect that. But they don't. They think civilians are just nothing. But we do have a rank. And so really, my rank was far above a corporal. But I remember somebody was saying that I had to stand up to them. And they do. Sergeants get very because they've been through that, and once they get to sergeant, they're quite laid back and quite friendly, really. And because I was very uncomfortable about doing this job at the army, but I remember once, I'll just share this story because I need to get on. But I had a group of temps come in from London because we had a job to do. We needed more staff, and in they marched into the hangar with their team leader, and he walks up to me and he says, "Who's in charge?" And I said, "Well, I guess that's me." He says, "Well, I'm in charge of all this." I said, "No, I'm in charge of all this." And all the temps that were with him, they just laughed their head off. And I bet they thought, yeah, sorry, he's always like that.